Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will read the updates to end the story of a woman who has a sister is in love with her husband, which made her whole family refuse to attend her wedding day. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I highly recommend watching it on our channel first to fully understand the story and its progression. Let's get started. Update 1. Hi everyone. I thought I would make an update about my post since I received a lot of advice about coming clean to my family about when and how I started dating my husband. But before that, I want to clarify a few points. My sister has not written any posts about her side of the story. I got a lot of abusive DMs yesterday from people who pretended to have talked to my sister about how she was dating my husband for 5 years. Not only an unrequited crush, and yet nobody could or would send me the post. One Redditor sent me something from a mighty a-hole about a lady whose daughter made an ultimatum about her choosing one of her grandchildren. That's not me. I don't have children. I only ever have written one post about this before, and it was when I sent the wedding invitations, and my family said they won't come. Also, many asked about the full story because my mother's reaction was so strong. My sister is the youngest and everyone's favourite, and her crush on my husband was well known. When he didn't reciprocate her feelings, my mum was very hurt for her sake. As for the rest, they just do what mum says since she is the matriarch of the family. I would have understood their reaction if they knew the whole truth, because I will never forgive myself for what I did. My only comfort is that before we spent that night together, my husband told me that he never liked my sister that way, and he wouldn't be with her no matter if I was with him or not. Now, for the update. As I said, many of you suggested that I should come clean. There are pros and cons. Pros are that it's the right thing to do, and if my sister wants to hate me, she has the right to know the full extent of my betrayal. I will never pretend what I did back then was right. I just fell for him. Is that a good enough excuse? And seeing that I still love him so many years later, it was real from the beginning. The cons are that it would probably hurt my sister even more and probably jeopardize her marriage even more if it turns out she's still hung up over my husband. So I wrote a long email to my mother, telling her everything and asking her what should I do. I texted her to go read it. That was last night. This morning she called me and was so cold. She didn't ask how I've been, didn't congratulate me, didn't ask about my husband. She was on point and warned me about telling my sister anything. She said that my brother-in-law has moved out of their home and is asking for a divorce. So if I told my sister everything now, it will only make it worse for her. She said that I'm not allowed to contact my sister in any way and for any reason. I should leave her alone and move on with my life. She said that she couldn't believe her eyes when she read my email and how horrible I actually have been towards my sister, worse than I thought. My mum's coldness made me understand how much I've hurt my family. I apologized for everything. She said, "Is there anything else?" "Fine, goodbye." Then later, my oldest sister called me. She has always been the gentlest, and she told me that she missed me and that Mum told her everything. The separation between my little sister and her husband is serious. They have been fighting for months now, and he left on my wedding day because my sister was very angry and crying all day. Big sister said that they didn't want to bother me with these details on my honeymoon. I asked her if she was angry at me, and she said that none of them actually is, except my little sister, but that I should give it time. I've talked to my husband now about everything, and I asked him if we have messed up. He just comforted me and told me to be patient. But I don't know. Our marriage started with hardship and at the cost of one of my favourite people and her husband. I'm so sorry, edit. Please, I'm going to have to ask you to stop about the sister's side of the story and that supposed post from her that no one has the link to. Regardless, my sister never dated my husband. That's BS. This is so disrespectful to my husband. He loved me for almost 10 years, and yet he never cheated on any of his girlfriends with me. We went on long periods of no contact when he was in relationships, so cheating on my sister is just a cruel rumour. Please stop, and please stop DMing me about TikTok unless you have my sister's alleged post. When I told my family about dating my husband, it was a bit under a year after my sister's wedding. Mum thought I had just met him and that I should just end the relationship because I was hurting my sister for a man I'd met a few months ago and now I was planning an engagement with. When I told my mum the truth yesterday about me being in love with him for so many years, I hoped she would be a bit more understanding, even with the fact that I was horrible in the beginning, that she would think this was real. But no, she was even madder. I see her point, though, in never telling my sister the whole truth. Final update. Good evening, everyone. I thought I might make a new update since many of you are asking for more updates. It's a short one this time. So my brother-in-law texted me yesterday asking to see me. I agreed because I wanted to see what he was thinking and if I could help in any way. When we met, he looked tired and miserable. He had my niece with him. I broke down crying because I haven't seen her before. I wasn't sure if I could ask to hold her, but he didn't even hesitate in placing her in my arms. She's the spitting image of my little sister, so beautiful. He asked me to tell him everything, and to be honest, when I finished my story, he told me that he never liked my husband, or rather never liked his wife's obsession with him. He said she always talked about him, followed him closely on social media, and automatically hated every woman he dated. My sister never really was in contact with my husband, and she never called, texted, or DM'd him, but she watched him closely. She commented when he gained weight or lost weight, grew a beard or gained muscles. All the while her husband was displeased and showed how uncomfortable he was with it. He asked her not to invite him to the wedding, but she insisted on it. Now he said that she was yelling that it was her fault that we met each other because she invited him. She should have listened to her husband. So now he had enough, and unfortunately, he can't see a way back. He cried and told me he feels like he was letting his baby down, and I cried so much for all three of them because I feel guilty too. I don't understand why she's doing this. She had an amazing husband who adored her and a baby she was dreaming about since we were teenagers. I asked him if he could just give her time to come out of her grief, but he just shook his head. Afterward, he congratulated me and wished me good luck and left with my niece. And that's it. And that's the end. Last update of this story. What do you guys think about? Do you have anything to say about this? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on the next video.